Here we have the Steampipe from Erica Synths and 112db.com. It's a hardware incarnation of the Steampipe software for Reactor, and a classy bit of hardware it is too. An all-metal construction with wooden side panels and Erica's signature beautiful knobs. Absolutely no wobble whatsoever. Screwed on bomb-proof construction with stereo output, a mono audio input, 5-pin MIDI and a USB for MIDI and saving patches to your computer. It comes with 64 presets and room for an additional 192 user presets. The name Steampipe comes from what it's modeling, steam or air being blown down a pipe. And it's a physical modeling engine that can produce bowed, blown and plucked sounds. And it's an enhancement of this. It's the Carplus Strong oscillator. And if you ever wondered where that name came from, it came from Kevin Carplus and Alex Strong, from their 1983 paper describing the algorithm. But this takes things to a whole other level. We've got much more creative control and can effectively shape the body of the instrument we're making using the harmonics, creating a split point so you can get more metallic sounds. Saturation here, we can change the odd and even harmonics on the symmetry there. And the filter isn't a standard filter. These high pass and low pass change the body of the instrument or change the shape of the body that you're creating. And these can create really realistic overtones, like when you blow a flute or record really hard and it pops up an octave with all sorts of raspiness. I'm modulating the high pass with the mod wheel here as well. We do have a modulation matrix with loads of options in there. This is for MIDI, by the way. And everything on this is controllable via MIDI itself. So if you know what you're doing, you can probably emulate Ron Burgundy's jazz flute. I did look at getting a Wing controller to demo, but they're so expensive, and I did get a personal demo from Erica Synths, Gertz's daughter, in Superbooth a couple of years ago, and now she's a member of the Reverb Philharmonic Orchestra, and better off playing this little clip than embarrassing myself anyway. So yeah, it does wind instruments really well.
Baby making music, that's what that is.
Is that enough flutes and pipes for you? That's a So what I love about it is all the weirdness you can get from it that you just can't do on a standard synth. It's just got a different sort of feel to it altogether, hasn't it? Let me just load in, oh, Scariest is one I've made earlier. And you can see why I've called it Scary. I've got a nice long ambient jam at the end that uses sounds like this for about 5 minutes, so stick around for that. But how does it all work? Get ready for a little bit of techie stuff here, but it will be worth it to understand what's happening and what all these various controls do, because It doesn't work like a standard subtractive synth. We have a lot of feedback loops in here and loads of non-linearities. So if you don't know what things are doing, you can just get completely and utterly baffled by it. In the most basic terms, the model works by sending a pulse or noise, that's what this knob is doing here, into a pipe, and this is the pipe section here. So we generate the sound with the top two, and then we send that sound into the body of the instrument, which is these bottom three rows. So far, so easy, and the sounds that are sent are so simple. So if we just play this, tiny little pluck, that's it, or a little click almost, and then we've got a filter here. It's a resonant filter. You can sort of hear it there, but if we put noise in, that resonance doesn't work in one pole mode. And then on the top, we've got an envelope, which does what you think. So that's the envelope for the generator and for the cutoff. So we can turn that envelope amount up there. So this is very similar to your standard subtractive synths, but that's about where the similarities end. So we come down here to the, let's think of it as the pipe. It is called the Steampipe after all. How this works is that the signal comes in, like that click will come in, gets fed through a delay. That delay has got a very, very short delay time, and that's fed back on itself. It's a bit odd to me that the delay box is set here and not above the feedback and the saturation, to be honest, because to me it's the most natural sort of next step in the process. It goes into the delay, then it's fed back into itself. So I'll just turn this down and you'll see why in a second. So you can still see it's triggering. Let's turn the push up, so we're starting the feedback loop, put some decay on that as well. So we're off, we've got a sort of clarinet-y type tone. We've got saturation it comes to as well. The saturation stops it getting too mad and bizarre, but we've got symmetry on this. And you can see that's changing the wave shape. But how it's doing that is by changing the actual harmonics in the tone. I wasn't planning on showing PWM, but it's actually there, isn't it? If you want it. But I wouldn't ever consider this as something where you start off with a sine or a pulse or whatever. You have to really think about this in terms of the feedback loops and those non-linearities. Let's add some noise. Turn the resonance down. We're getting some sort of fluty sound already. Bit release on that as well so that it doesn't cut off immediately. I take my finger off. We've got hard and soft saturation. A little bit more gain in there. Breaking up. This harmonics knob, so think of this as the body of the instrument. This is changing the stiffness of that instrument. And then the split point is used when you split the instrument into two separate bodies. It's got two separate bodies. So this gives you more metallic tones. If we take a bit of noise off that. But we can get all sorts of dirty stuff from this. And this is where I love this instrument. Not got any reverb on yet. I'll talk about the reverb in a minute, but proper beautiful, huge reverbs. Bit more noise, some resonance. Take off one pole so we can hear the resonance. Sounds like two notes there, I'm only playing one. That's because we've got the split on again. Polarity turns into all even. And obviously, because the delay box is tuning the instrument itself, we have the tune. So this is really like tuning the oscillator. Which you do need to do, because as you change different things, you can hear the pitches changing. Which brings me to the filter down here. Now what this does is it doesn't act like a standard filter, as I said earlier. These are altering the resonant frequencies of the pipe, which is how we get those overblown jazz flutes I played earlier. Stop at middle C on both of them, so you can easily get nothing if you've changed them. So that it's like having a bandpass there that you've cut out all the frequencies from. So all sorts of beautiful wind sounds, and so you can hear that change in pitch slightly. Which brings me to the tune button, and then you can change the high pass and the low pass tuning, looking at that strobe, and try and get things a little bit more equal. You're never going to get them identical, as in the tune of the pipe itself, and then the low pass and high pass and those overtones, but you can try and get close. And you can also tune this so it's, if we hit, where is it? It's that, isn't it? We're now quantized that. There we go, that's nicer. So although this does do flute sounds and horns and strings, I find it really works best for doing really strange instruments that don't exist. These are all sounds I can't get easily off other bits of kit. For those sort of really weird, beautiful, or nasty textures. Try getting this off anything else. Then we've got some more standard things on the voice down here. We've got drift, we've got glide, we've got mono, unison, and poly modes. Okay, we got the drift there on the unison. Whoa. Plus we've got 5 LFOs. If I just bring in one of my other patches I made, because I know it's got it on there. Preset, which one was it? Oops. It's scary, try a fifth. Oh, let's try a couple of these. So we try a 5th. Shift chord. Turn that into a 5th. Nice. Let's put an LFO on this low pass. So coming to LFO 1, let's change the destination to, this is where I've got to just move my head so I can see what's happening because it's flat on the table. 5 LFOs, that can be all synced with an incoming MIDI. And the final part of the whole thing is the reverb, but we've been listening to that all the way through. Really nice reverb. Well, incredibly nice reverb. Like infinite. Got modulation on it. And then high and low EQ. So hopefully that's helped you understand how it all works. As I say, the non-linearities are difficult to demo because every time you tweak something, it tends to do something you're not expecting. You've got to try and pull it back a bit. But I think that's the beauty of it. It encourages you to explore it and you instantly start getting otherworldly, weird, fantastic tones out of it. But yeah, it can be confusing at times. And until you've played with it for a few hours, you will find occasions where it sounds like it's doing nothing. This gain knob, for example, and having the filter set in the wrong positions, you can sometimes find yourself not hearing much at all, but that's quite nice, that not hearing much there, isn't it? Ooh. But that's what you find. Stuff like this all over the place. Scary film soundtrack all over the place. If there was one minor point of confusion for me, and I'm still not sure whether this is correct or not, these go from 0 to 6 and 0 to 6 on the symmetry. I think it's 0 in the middle and -3 and +3. Same with the harmonics and the split point, perhaps. It definitely is with the filter. They both start up at 12 o'clock at C3, it says, so in the manual at least. So just some of the labeling, I think it was a bit confusing for me to start with, but well, hopefully this'll put all those questions to rest. God, it's so nice, isn't it? So nice to so weird in the twist of one knob to inharmonic. Wonderful. So hang on, there's a 5-minute jam of me doing mad stuff like that. But I do hope that was of some use to somebody somewhere. If it was, please do subscribe, ring the bell. As you know, this channel is funded by my affiliate links, YouTube ads, and my wonderful patrons who, for less than the price of a dodgy coffee month, get access to patches, samples, tutorials, and all that little goodies. I try and get something out at least once a week to them. So if you are a patron, thank you very, very much. Also, do take a look at my starskycar.com website as well. I've got patches, samples, things you can download, and other bits and bobs as well. But thanks for staying to the very end. Well, it's not the very end yet, is it? There's a little jam coming up, but I hope you enjoyed that, and I will see you next time.